Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cock Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Friday wherever we are around the world. It is a late show. I thought, why not? The last couple of days of my life has been very chaotic behind the scenes, but hopefully, you guys are doing all good and all well. But welcome back to yet another match preview show. We're going to talk about Liverpool Burnley. Of course, tomorrow kickoff at 3 p.m. At Anfield. And look, Liverpool are maintaining their unbeaten run to some extent, of course. Obviously beating Barnsley a couple of days ago in the FA Cup, but still league does come calling. And look, Liverpool have the chance to, again, like we say pretty much I think every match preview, that Liverpool can extend the gap with fourth place, certainly with teams obviously around having very difficult games. I think you look at Manchester United, for example, having the Manchester derby. If City were to win that, again, Liverpool extend the gap, really. I think that's the thing at the moment is that, again, even though we are saying Liverpool can extend the top four race, it's kind of, we all know really that the top five will qualify for the Champions League. But when you look at it, I think everybody is expecting that, again, the top five will become Champions League. And again, the further Liverpool can kind of break that space between sixth place, that will be, a relief really. And of course, hopefully a home win against Burnley will be the case of that. But let me know if anybody is tuning in. I know it is a late show, so apologies if anybody is just tuning in now or late, of course, because I know people do watch on the repeat as well. But I want to talk about, of course, Liverpool Burnley. I want to majorly talk about as well, and we're going to kickstart the show talking a bit more about it. Is the fact that Mark Gahey has gone to Manchester City. Again, deal's done, £20 million. What are Liverpool doing? Again, it's embarrassing. It's complacent. It's, again, we could go on an entire rant going on about Mark Gahey to Manchester City. And look, there are options out there that Liverpool can go for now and in January. I think, again, we'll probably talk about them in a moment. But I think for us, I think just as for everyone, it's a bit of frustration, though, considering the fact that we had the deal done less than 4 months ago. You guys, if you guys have seen, on TikTok that we've posted, and of course on the YouTube Shorts today, we spoke about obviously when it broke earlier on today, and I think a lot of people are frustrated around it. The fact that not because he's chose City, because by the looks of it, City were the only team that come in for him, and like I said in the video earlier, you can't really be frustrated at him because City are the only team that has come in and shown ambition and shown, like, look, we're going to try and get him now because we can do, and that's not his fault. Look, it's pretty much plain and simple. I think anybody could have offered, 10, 15 million. I think Palace would have took it, but I think Man City thought or expected teams to come in and went straight up to £20 million. And then, look, that's not their fault. Again, that they will look at it and go, it's an opportunity, and it is an opportunity. You're signing one of the best defenders, England's best defender by a country mile, really, and that's that's an understatement, really. But I think now, of course, like I mentioned it earlier on in the show, I think it pretty much cements his England spot for the World Cup. I'd be surprised if he didn't go, which, again, I think even if Mark Gahey had stayed at Palace, I think he stays and keeps his spot in that England team for me. But now it's more or less guaranteed because, again, he's playing for a top team in the Premier League. But still, it's a very good move for City. Obviously, they've got their problems at the minute at centre-half. Liverpool have got their problems at centre-half, but for some reason didn't want to move upon it. And that's the more frustrating thing, more than anything, is the fact that Liverpool did not want to make a move. Again, all the journalists coming out today, after, of course, the news that broke, the fact that Liverpool didn't see it as an opportunity anymore to go and spend £20 million on somebody that does have 6 months left on his contract, and basically after this month, you'd be getting the deal ready to get him on a free transfer. But in that sense as well, I think many people would also argue the fact that Liverpool, in my opinion, could, if you wanted him in the summer and you valued him at 35 million and you thought that was a market opportunity, then surely getting him in 6 months earlier again, it's still a market opportunity in that sense, because again, you could be ending up paying for the player of Mark A, you could end up be paying 60, 70 million pounds. We've seen that in the past in the Premier League. And I think, for me at least anyway, I think it's laughable really that Liverpool haven't gone and done the move, but still, that's just me. And I think at the moment, Liverpool, there's question marks on who we can get. I know that there's people, I think all day today have come up with names. I think for me, the couple of names I'd want, I think Jeremy Dequoy, again, I've probably butchered his name, from Rennes. I think he's very good, and what Liverpool kind of need. Again, a young prospect that has a bunch of talent but looks really, really good as well. Nico Slotterbeck is another name. Of course, people have mentioned Mickey van der Ven. They've mentioned, again, Joel Oberdan as well. But I think even Nathan Collins got mentioned earlier by a few people. But yeah, I think that the main two for me would be Jeremy Dequoy and Nico Slotterbeck. They would be the main two for me that I would want at Liverpool anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts watching on the repeat. But of course, let's get back onto Liverpool-Burnley then. And again, like I said, it's an opportunity for Liverpool to extend the gap for top four. Again, Liverpool are on 35 points. Again, nearest rival to that is, of course, Brentford. But when we look at teams like your Chelseas, your Manchester Uniteds, again, I don't even know who Chelsea got this weekend. They've got Brentford. So again, that's another game where people will drop points, for example. Again, look at Man United, for example. I do think that Man City will beat Manchester United tomorrow. But you even look at that, Liverpool then would be, say, if we were to beat Burnley, we are then, what's that, 3 points? We'd be 7 points clear of United. So when you look at it like that, Liverpool winning games and, building them up, even though I think over the next 2-3 weeks, we've got a very tough build up, really. I think we've got City at home, we've got Newcastle at home coming up as well. Of course, Champions League football as well, also returning as well. Of course, tough game away to Marseille, which, our record in France isn't the greatest. But in an overall sense, I do think, Liverpool could have a really good month or two. Of course, with Mo Salah coming back as well, of course, Arne Slot confirmed it, didn't he, that Mo will be back after this game. Whether or not he'll be back for Marseille away is another question. I do think it'll probably be next week away to Bournemouth, where we do see Mo back in the team, of course, and he's been missed, really, of course, because Liverpool have kind of, dodged around that right wing position, haven't they? And 1 minute it's Jeremy Frimpong, 1 minute it's Dominic Szoboszlai. I think right now having Mo back is a must, really, and again, hopefully, again, he comes back from Egypt fully firing, because again, I think he got, 4 goals and assists in AFCON, which again, hopefully now he can transform into Liverpool form as well. Anyway, but Big Hero as well saying, losing a player to a rival that was having photos in our kit just a few months ago seems like a waste of time. Yeah, Nabil Fekir 2.0 in some kind of sense, but is it worse than Nabil Fekir? I seen somebody make a video on it earlier, and I was like, could they, is that a bad thing, really? That you look at Nabil Fekir and look how that went. I think, City for me, have they accelerated their plans because, again, they've missed out, not missed out, sorry, but they've got injuries. They've got Gvardiol injured, Ruben Diaz injured. Have they accelerated their plans? Probably. But again, I think that one thing we haven't really said neither is the fact that they are offering 300k a week. Yeah, so there's no wonder why Mark Gahey has turned them down. But again, I wonder if Liverpool did put their names in the conversation, where would Mark Gahey then lie? Because again, like I said, nobody I don't think would be fuming at Liverpool if we had tried and we had tried to get Mark Gahey, and we tried to again, make a conversation around it, and he'd have to make the choice really. He'd have to say, I want Man City over over Liverpool, and that's fine. That would have been fine. But from an overall perspective, the fact that then we've ended up turning around and not even tried to sign him either, because the whole of today, the noise coming out from Liverpool journalists have been Liverpool did not find it as a market opportunity to sign him for 20 mil. Read that what you want, really. But yeah, the plan for Liverpool and Bayern were to sign him in the summer on a free transfer. I'd like to think we've got our eyes on better value, but I'm not 100% convinced they have a plan for the type of players we want and our formation going forward. Yeah, look, we need wingers at the club. Again, I'm hoping, and again, you can clip this if you want to clip this. That's more than fine. I'm hoping Liverpool are looking at Bradley Barcola for the summer. I'm absolutely praying for it, because Liverpool need wingers. Liverpool need attacking wide men, because Arne Slot today spoke about it. He spoke about how Liverpool have struggled a little bit with players going inside and outside. Mo's done it a couple of times. Mo will try and do it. Cody, not so much. We've quite clearly seen that this season, where it is just cut inside, do what you want, really. But Liverpool miss a player that can go outside, inside. Like, I currently look at wingers out there at the moment, and I look at somebody like a Jeremy Doku, for example. Now, Jeremy Doku isn't the full package yet for Manchester City, but I look at him and I go, that's kind of what Liverpool miss. Liverpool miss somebody that can go on the outside, can cut inside as well, and just make a real nuisance at the defender, really. And we kind of miss that type of player. Now, is Bradley Barcola the type of player? For that, I think he could possibly be that. But again, you've got teams like Chelsea will come in for him, Arsenal will come for him, as well as City. I wouldn't be surprised if City looked at him as well. But again, that's just a hope at the minute anyway. But big up to Luca as well. Hello, Luca. Hope you're doing well. Long time. You okay? I'm very good. Thank you, mate. Hopefully you're doing well as well. But not bad for a player who used to be at Swansea. Yeah, true. Him, Gyökeres, and who else was at Swansea at the same time? The third player always slips my mind, but him and Gyökeres were at Swansea at the exact same time, which I always find funny when people show videos and photos. Anyway, which, to be fair, look, it's mad, isn't it? Like, again, I always think back to photos of like Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane sat on the bench for Leicester against Watford. Like, I always think that's funny. Like, when you then look at their careers and look what's happened since. Again, it's kind of like, what players of today are sat on the bench or on loan together, who in the future will become, legends, or become, again, talking points then through football history. It's quite funny, isn't it, really, when you actually think about it. But going back to obviously Liverpool Burnley earlier on in the season, of course Liverpool did win by 1-0. Again, it was a very much Liverpool 99% of the ball, Burnley trying to get a point, realistically, but still they almost got a point from that game. And again, Liverpool did struggle to break down their low block. It was only a Mohamed Salah penalty right towards the end where we managed to get the win. And again, I'm expecting the same, really. And it's kind of going to be one of them games in it where Liverpool are going to try for 90 minutes to try and break them down, and it will hopefully be a bit of excellence, really, from the potential likes of Hugo Ekitike or Florian Wirtz or Dom, really, with a long shot to try and break down Burnley. Because again, looking at Burnley's situation, you're obviously looking at the league table right now, 19th in the league. Again, they are slowly crawling down the points tally. Really, again, they're on 13 points at the minute. Obviously, Forest on 21 at the moment. Again, so when we talk about an 8-point difference, again, even if Forest, got a result, they then separate that again, really. And I look, do I think Burnley will go down this season? Yes, I do. But it's all about, again, preparation for next season. Because I think once you're in that type of position, what you do, because again, will Scott Parker be the manager next season? You'd most likely think he would be right now. But again, could be totally wrong in that aspect of things. But I look at it and go, we've seen at the beginning of the season what they could do, where again they would end up, trying to create that block, really, where again it would be hard to break down. Liverpool would take forever, and again that's been our kryptonite this season. We've seen it plenty of times where Liverpool have struggled to break teams down this season and lack that real quality. But look, I think obviously from us beating Barnsley as well, and again having this unbeaten run, which I think many of us have described it as probably the the most not embarrassing, but the most unhappy unbeaten run I think we've all talked about in recent years. But again, when you actually look at the league table, and Arne Slot speaking about personnel as well, speaking about Calvin Ramsey earlier on, which I think many people didn't like, when he spoke about him, coming up from obviously the under 23s, and obviously looking at what he can offer as well, but also then said that he has better options at the moment than Calvin Ramsey, which I thought was a bit weird. And when we talk about being a man manager and trying to be careful with your words, look, we all know, is Calvin Ramsey Liverpool's number one choice at right back? No, he's not. But again, Calvin Ramsey can be a very important member of the squad at the minute, because we've seen throughout the past where fringe players would be superheroes for Liverpool throughout seasons. Look at Reece Williams, look at Nat Phillips. Them two by themselves managed to get Liverpool Champions League football one season, and that's the miracle of that season, where Nat Phillips, I think, ultimately become a cult hero. I think both of them become cult heroes from that season. And again, Calvin Ramsey could, it's an opportunity, really, isn't it? While we don't have anyone available for that. And look, I do think Liverpool could use Calvin Ramsey, but there is, of course, the conversation of who does start. I think Jeremy Frimpong is the one, really, isn't it, at the moment? But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. But timing is everything. True. That is very, very true. Again, football's a weird place, isn't it? But hi mate, how is it going? I don't think I've seen you before. Liverpool Anfield videos. Hopefully you're doing well, mate. I just fell upon your channel on my feed. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much for popping in. And yes, I do see chat after I do rant on a little bit, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully you are good, mate, and hopefully you're well. How many centre-backs do you see us going after for next season? 3, that's a lot. If Gomez and Kanate leave, then it's that's a lot. If Gomez leaves, then it's a left back issue. Geez, another season of transition coming up next. Possibly. I think if I would say it's possible that Liverpool sign 3. I think as of right now, my answer would be 2, because I know David Ornstein spoke about it, didn't he? About how there's no breakthrough at the minute, is there? With there's no breakthrough with Kanate at the minute, and I think the problem is with Ibu is I think it's clear he's leaving. He's not going to Madrid. Madrid don't want him. They've already said that. They've already said they don't want him. The 2 blatant places for me, and I said it last night, I was on Daz's stream, where I think Kanate will go to Bayern Munich. I think his thought process is, number one, you get to play in Germany, you get to play for the best team in Germany. Let's not lie, they go on to win the Bundesliga every single season. They then, you then think about it, he's playing alongside Upamecano, the French connection, which then when we're talking about centre-back pairings and when we're talking about centre-back partnerships forefront, when you think after the World Cup, somebody like a Zinedine Zidane, who is going to become the French national coach, would then look at them two and go, well, they're already a centre-back partnership. Why would I break that up? That's a possibility. And again, Bayern Munich would take that. I don't think Bayern Munich are going to turn down Ibu Konate, considering the fact they wanted Konate when Liverpool bought him. What was it, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? So, with that being said, I do think Konate will go to Bayern Munich, and that's my reasoning. Anyway, but yeah, 2 right now. I think Liverpool will go and get. But again, who knows? I thought Liverpool were going to go after Mark Gahey, and yeah, look how that turned out. What do you think of the content creator? Leo's good. Again, I watched Leo a few times. I was watching his vid on Gahey, and then it suggested, oh, that's boss. It shows the algorithm actually works for once. Do you have any advice for someone starting YouTube because you have over 4K? How long did that take? Well, I've been going for, what was it, 5 years, 6 years? I would say, what would I say? I would say short form content. So like short. I think just overall, do content you enjoy. Yeah, again, I love talking about football. I've said it to you guys. I've been thinking about just starting it or like doing just a football channel as well. Obviously, away from Liverpool. Obviously, I love Liverpool Football Club with all my heart. And that's the thing where for me, but I love just talking about football. Literally, I could literally talk about football all day. But yeah, I'd say first of all, enjoy your content. And I would say try and do all forms of content in terms of lives, general videos, short form content as well, like shorts as well, TikTok, all that type of thing. That's what I would say anyway, personally. Consistency streaming. Yeah, I don't do that enough, unfortunately. Like this week has been, the last 2 weeks, for me has been crazy off stream, really. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Again, I don't really want to say what happened, but somebody in my family had a medical problem. I.e., they had a heart attack. So the last the last 2 weeks has been crazy. So yeah, it's not been nice. So I've been busy with that again, dealing with real life stuff, which sucks, unfortunately. But yeah, consistently streaming. I'd love to stream every day. I'd love to stream, every minute of every day, really. But wow, I see you're short on Arnie Slot sings. Your coach chant at Anfield nearly at 1 million views. Yeah, like things like that will go crazy, which is unbelievable. Are you a full-time content creator or do you do other work? No, I don't. I'm not a full-time content creator. I'd love to be. I'd love this to be my job, and this to be my life. But yeah, no, I do stuff away from. I do real work as well, unfortunately. But no, but again, I try and. I try and do this as best as I can because, again, I do everything. I do live stream. Again, everything you see, like in terms of design, thumbnails, editing, I do it all. Now, I know people pay, and I do, I know people pay and people do this and that, and that's fair enough. But for me, I do everything by myself. And to be fair, I've been doing YouTube for the last 10 years, but I've not done it by myself for 10 years. Again, I was on the bench LFC. I did a lot of things for Daz. We did huge things on there. And then of course Daz went away, and then because of his medical conditions, and then I ended up doing this because, again, I love doing content, I love talking to you guys about footy, and yeah, look, it's that as well. But to be fair, Liverpool Anfield videos. Again, the one thing I would say is just enjoy the content as well. If you're not, again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, but also check us out on TikTok as well. That's what again, all the short form content gets taken over there, but again, I try and do it all over the place, really. Anyway, but what else do we have? I read the one out. Apologies. So sorry to hear that, mate. I hope that family member is doing okay. Yeah, she's good. She's very good at the minute, but you wouldn't think they had the cardiac arrest. I'm not gonna lie. Big up Daz as well. If you're doing well, mate. Saying, "Yo, Con, what's your 11 for tomorrow?" Starting 11s for tomorrow. I haven't really thought about that. I would say so. Ali in goal for me. I would say. Yeah, Ali in goal, Frimpong right back, Kanate, Van Dijk, and Kirkes. Midfield, I think it will be Gravenberch, Jones. Gravenberch and Jones as a 2. I think Mac will be in the 10. I think it'll be Dom. Yeah, Mac in the 10, Dom on the right. Ekatike up top, Hugo Ekatike up top, and then it'll be Florian Wirtz on the left. Even though, to be fair, right, and I say this personally, I would like Chiesa and Rio Ngamoa. Rio Ngamoa would be Rio on the left, Chiesa on the right, Flo in the 10, and Dom and potentially then Grav, or even Dom and Curtis as a 2. Because again, against Burnley, you're not gonna. The only problem is you're gonna get countered maybe once or twice, and that's the problem, really. But who's your favorite Liverpool content creator? There's loads, really. Personally, Redman, for me. Again, I've done videos with Chris on there as well. But again, I've watched Redman since 2014 as well. So for me, it would be Redman. For me at least, anyway. Have people ever said you look like James Corden? Jesus Christ, no, I don't want to. To be fair, the only thing I will say to you, I look like the kid from Up. I look like Russell from Up, and that's not a good thing, really. But no, I'm not James Corden, and he goes, fuck off, you bro." Oh no. To be fair, they are. I think they are meant to be bashing that down, and they or doing something with it. I think renovating, I think was the word that I think the news said anyway. But can you remember what your first ever video was from? It was introducing the channel, which has been privatized. But yeah, that was the first ever video that I did on my own. What else we got? Who do you think will win the league? Man City. No, I don't really know. Sometimes it changes. Luca. One minute I think Arsenal might, and then I just look at Arsenal and go, "Do you know what? I know, like, you support Arsenal, but for me, I look at it and go, like, all the hypocrisy from last season, where, like, I saw I heard from Arsenal fans was like, "Oh, Liverpool don't deserve to win the title," even though we were like 10 points clear or like 8 points clear at one point. But I look at and this is the thing, right? And look, I'm not saying this is you, but Arsenal fans will say like, "Oh, Arsenal will win the league. They've got the best team. They've got the best squad. This, that, and the other." Why haven't they run away with it then? Why have they not run away with the league title? Like, the fact that City are only 5 or 6 points behind, like, that's nothing. Like, at the end of the day, if Arsenal lose a random game, let's say if Arsenal lose this weekend, now I don't know who Arsenal got, and City beat Man United away, like that, 3 points in it, that's nothing. And as we've seen, like, I look at it and go, me personally, I look at it and go, you have to get above 8 to 10 points. Once you're clear of that, then they'll go, and watch them. But for me, I think you have to, until you get that. For me, I don't think Arsenal favourites. I'd probably go with City. My opinion. What else do you have? Have you ever done a live watch along during a game on the channel? Yeah, I think. Have we ever done one? I think we've done two. I think we did AFCON final back in 2022, and we did one for when Luis Diaz signed for the club. I think we did a one against Norwich, but I don't really do live watch-alongs. I'm not gonna lie, lads. Very much. I very much enjoyed watching the get or going to the game as well than doing watch-alongs. But yeah, no. What else do we have? Portugal's going. It's going at some point, I think. Would you rather we sign Gehi instead of City, but Arsenal win the league, or City sign Gehi, but it means they win the league and not the horrible Arsenal? And me, well, I one of them are going to win the league this year, but I'd rather City win the league. I'm not going to lie, even I don't like either of them. I think Man City will win the league, says Luca. I would agree, really. Luca does his head to Luca. Now City got Gehi, they'll win the league. I think their attacking threat is the main one, because again, them, Haaland, Ryan Cherky, Foden, like Doku, Reinders, Rodri coming back slowly as well, back into form. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Where I think for me, having them is the one. And plus, no offense, City know how to win the league title. Arsenal don't right now. Actually, Luca, I will ask you this: if Arteta doesn't win the league or the Champions League again, does he get sacked? Or will people start crying about it? Pick up Darwin as well. Darwin's the goat. Darwin is the goat as well. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Saying hi, mate. Congratulations. I see you had the famous journalist James Pierce on your channel. That's huge. Well, yeah, we did have James Pierce on. We need to get him back on, actually. Maybe we might do next week to try and get some sense out of this Gehi situation. But yeah, we'll definitely look at it. Don't you have a Liverpool podcast as well? Jesus Christ, there's been a few. Hang on, there's been a few chats. Good, Luca. I need to ask you something. I don't have Twitter. Saw an Arsenal fan defend Martinelli's actions on Bradley. They have the unlikable fan as well. That is true. Unfortunately, sorry, Luca, but it is true. Look, I think that what Arne Slot said was right. It was the heat of the moment type situation. He's apologized for it. Is Martinelli horrible in the moment? Yes. Is he horrible overall? We don't know. I don't know Martinelli personally. But look, for me, he did something bad, apologized for it. You move on, really. But it is a bit what's then. What's your favorite video game? What, my favorite video game? Or are you talking to Daz? Well, if you're asking for my favorite video game, it would probably be Footy Manager, but I'd also say, like GTA 5. Growing up as a kid, Crash Bandicoot as well was also one of my favorites, as well. But yeah, no, Footy Manager is up there for sure. I used to play Football Manager so much I had to stop. As well. Well, to be fair, FM26 isn't really great. Let's be honest. It's a bit, it's not a lie around it either. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Anyway, on Liverpool Burnley score predictions. I'm gonna go. What do you go for Liverpool Burnley? I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool. I think we keep a home clean sheet, which is a rarity, realistically. But no, all joking aside, I'm going to go 2-0 I'll go with Florian Wirtz to get another goal, which hopefully he does end up doing, and I'll go Hugo Ekitike as well to get. Oh well, I say that the two people that are might be there. I'm going to go with Flo and Hugo to get the goals as well, and yeah, hopefully again this game kickstarts our tough run in. When we've got Bournemouth away, Marseille away, City, Newcastle as well coming up. Very tough games coming up, and again Liverpool having Mo Salah back and other players coming back as well. Hopefully, will be a good sign at least anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below anyway. But manager 2007, Jared 40 mil bargain, Messi 10 million. Jesus Christ, was it Pro Evo as well? Like Pro Evo, like early Pro Evos, like 5 and 6, for example. Like FIFA as well. I've always been a FIFA player. Not recently because I think the game is slowly, well, not slowly, it is dying. Let's not lie around it. It's FIFA's turning into absolute shite. But favorite FIFA of all time, FIFA 17. FIFA 17, my game, man. First year of college for me, and yeah, just all day. Like again, whenever I was home, it would be FIFA on. So FIFA 17 was my game. But yeah, I miss them days. Anyway, but look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your night. Anyway, apologies, the show is late. Of course, normally we are live around 8-9 p.m. But of course, like I mentioned, things have been a bit chaotic, so I've been back and forth. Hospital and that, so yeah, so this is why there's been no streams as well throughout the week, because again I've been up and down hospital, which is shite, but again nobody likes hospitals, especially me. But look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your night. Daz says 3-0 for me, goals from Hugo, Vert and Virgil. I love that, to be fair, and hopefully we get them as well anyway. But look, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back a bit later than usual. I'll probably say we'll be back. I'm just trying to think of tomorrow. Probably about 5 p.m. tomorrow, because again, we'll be live a bit later after the game as well. It might be 6 p.m. maybe. But again, make sure you're staying tuned to Twitter. Obviously, the what's it called as well? The community tab as well. We'll let you guys know when we're live as well. And evening, Kel. Says Liverpool never scored more than 2 at home as well. That's true. Do you know what? I said that to somebody earlier. We're trying to think, Liverpool's biggest win of the season. It was like, Frankfurt. And I can't remember Liverpool scoring more than 2 goals. But yeah, 2-0 is a safe bet, really. And, look, once a former Everton manager once said a 2-0 lead is a dangerous scoreline. Jesus Christ. But look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your night anyway. And hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with a post-match, which hopefully Liverpool win as well. But look, I've been Connor from the Cock Council. We'll see you guys a bit later on. Ta-ra.